This is the Tower Case 900 by Thermaltake, and it's been out for a while, but it's freaking huge. It really is huge. This is not just a full tower or it's like a big tower. This is a super tower, which means it's bigger than a full tower. Yeah, it's pretty big. It's got three 5-inch, not 5-inch, but it might as well be 5-inch bulletproof glass. So it's got 5 millimeters of thickness on each side. So this panel on the right hand side, left hand side, and the front panel with these massive metal thumb screws. Now these, I'm not playing. These weigh a bit. These are like real quality thumb screws, and you can shine them up so you can definitely see them. But yeah, they've got a long thread. It's about 1.5 centimeters. Actually, I'd say it's probably about near enough 2.5 centimeters. That's how big these are. They've got holes or some sort of Allen key like ends to them, but it just looks mad. So you can do obviously loads of crazy stuff to this case. It's ridiculous. This can fit an extended motherboard inside the case, no problem. But what we're going to do is not building it today, because it would take me probably a couple of months to build into this thing. And no, I'm joking. It wouldn't take me a couple of months. It'd take me a couple of years instead. No, well, so yeah, we're going to just take a look about everything that's on this case. This would be, who is this for? This is obviously for the ultimate enthusiast. So someone that's very enthusiastic of making mods in computer cases. This is, don't look any further, this will be the one. It's at a good price as well for this sort of case. It's around £230 to £250 in the UK at the moment, depending on where you like obviously shop for your source. But I'll leave a link in the description down below. This is all making my eyes all crazy. Anyway, we're going to talk about quality. We're going to, obviously this weighs 27 kilos without anything in it. So the quality is there with all the stuff. It's got a lot of stuff on there. You can put, I'm gonna just go through it one bit by bit, you know. So first off, I'm gonna take off these glass panels. I would take off the plastic wrapping on the glass, but I don't really want to do it yet because I don't really want to scratch it yet because I'm not ready to build in it yet. You know what I mean, mate? So technically this glass is so thick. Right, so I'm unscrewing these. Whoa. I don't know where the other glass panel is either at the moment, but I'll find that. So if you were going to lose these, you wouldn't lose them. Put it that way. That is some thick glass. And it's slightly tinted. It's got like a mixture of bluish, purplish grey in it. And it's got rubber inserts in there, so it means it goes right through the glass. It just looks quality, just like pops in and out the rubber bits. But it's nicely in there, and it gives it a nice sort of suspension against the metal casing. So I'm going to put this out the way so I don't, I doubt I'd be able to break that. That's like massive tempered glass that you use in a actual table, your dining table. Doesn't take too long to open these screws up though, so it's not too bad. But we're going to talk about like the size of the CPU that you can put in there, the graphics card, which to be honest with you, I don't think there's any limit to this thing. What's even more funny, if you've got a mini ITX case, ITX motherboard, it can fit in there as well. And obviously it can fit in there because it's quite small, but why would you want a very small micro motherboard? Yeah, I just don't know. But anyway, so we've got standard, so mini ITX, that would go here. Actually, it would go here actually. Right, mini ATX would go there. No, micro ATX, sorry. Then we've got normal ATX and extended ATX as well that fits through here. We've got all of these nice rubber grommets, and these feel good quality actually. I like these. These are better than what you normally get on all the cases that I've actually reviewed. For some reason, this one's slightly thicker and it doesn't come out as much. The actual tray is removable, so I can take this tray out and then obviously put it on the table, put everything I need to put on there, like RAM, CPU, the thermal grease, obviously a CPU air cooler if I'm going to use that, or a CPU water block, or a CPU air cooler. I can put it all on the top before I've even put it actually in here. Now at the top here is where it's going to be having your graphics card. So your graphics card will go this way. You know what? I might just get a graphics card. I'm going to get a small graphics card. Here we Here's one we got earlier. This is a GTX 1050 Ti, and yeah, it will go in like that. So that's how your graphics cards would be in your motherboard. So that means it's going to exhaust, which is cool because technically you want heat rises. So let's work with that. Let's rise it out of the actual case. So that's how it would be. So this is a GTX 1050 Ti. This is a small graphics card. So you can imagine having much bigger graphics cards going away down. It's going to be fine. It's a beast of a case. It's a tower. Now, if proper well thought about it as well, you can put I'm sure you can put 480 even in a 560 like radiator in here. It's ridiculous. It comes with a fan at the top here, a 140, but it also comes with a fan somewhere else in the back, if I remember rightly. These ports here, which I'm going to have to show you closely because it's going to be a bit of a mission. So I'll come back to that and then we'll move the camera around so we can see everything. But starting off, you've got standoff screws all on here. Then you've got thumb screws, so you can obviously release this to the actual table. Now I'm going to need a screwdriver obviously because I can't get it out. So I've got a screwdriver here right now, so I can unscrew that one, unscrew that one. So what we're dealing with is 4 screws at the moment, 4 thumb screws, just so we can put the motherboard on there. So if I take this out, we'll have a good look in here. Whoa. So everything feels all nice and premium at the moment. It just unscrews and it comes out with no problems. And it's all pretty signed up. What the hell is that? Pretty well. Because what I can see is that the quality is right there with this case. I'm not seeing any skimps so far. So let's get this out. How do we get it out? So, right, so it's got a screw here. Looks like I've got to unloosen these 2 screws. Will it come out? There we go. So once you've undone the 4 thumb screws, this slides down and then you can take the motherboard out. Now this motherboard is nice because it's a little flex to it, but it's still got the grooves there to give it a bit more stability, if that's the right word, or strength. Looks sprayed up pretty nice as well. So this is where your motherboard will actually fit on there with no problems whatsoever. And then you've already got the standoffs already screwed on there. And it looks like you can take them off as well because it unscrews, so that's pretty cool. Depending on if you're going to use micro ATX or ATX or just normal size motherboard, it's all laid out for you, and then you can just take off the standoffs you don't want. But as I said, this is quite nice, and I like this, like with the rubber grommets, because it's nice. But inside here, I'm not scratching my thumb, or cutting my thumb I should say, so it means it's good quality. They haven't skimped on it just because they put rubber grommets on it. So I'll stick this down here. And look at this, a gigantic freaking space. Oh my god, it's just so huge. Anyway, we'll take off these thumb screws. This is a nice another way to pass through cables. I swear to god, if you're an enthusiast, you are going to not have no problems with this at all. So just take these thumb screws off. Then we've got more rubber things, so it's just like a little sheet, a little plate. So it's underneath to give it more in case you're using extended motherboards. What do we got here? We've got something hanging in the balance, and this looks like something to do with radiators and fans. So I'm guessing that's what that's for. We'll have a look, come back to that. But as you can see, in the back you have drive bays. So it looks like you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 for mechanical hard drives in the back there. But I'm guessing that you can definitely put SSDs in there as well. God, this thing is so massive. Really is crazy big. So I'm going to undo the back now, and let's have a closer look at the back. Right, we've got captive thumb screws on the back, so that's decent. Didn't expect that. Cool, it sounds like a freaking wash machine. It's so big and heavy. Right, so what you do, you slide up from the back and then it releases. And as I was saying, little flex, but you've got a lot of metal there. You've got a filter as well. This looks like a magnetic filter, which it is. And it looks like you can put 120s and 140s on the back there. So that's pretty nice. captive thumb screws in there as well. And you've got like a little catch here. Obviously there's no rubber insulation on here that I can see to dampen any sound. So I'm gonna put this out of the way. Hi! Right, so we can put the biggest power supplies in the world here. It's pretty standard, pretty obvious. This is diabolical. Like, I'm literally taking this all apart. Am I gonna remember how to put this back together? Oh. It looks like you can put in more hard drives, so more mechanical hard drives. So it looks like you can put 6 mechanical hard drives in. This is freaking huge. Now in the top here, I can't get this out at the moment. I don't even know how they even do this. So they tie it up so you can't get in there. But you look like this is where you're gonna find all your screws and stuff. And once we find all the screws, then we can find out what's going on in this little jam here. Wow, so you get loads of stuff, absolutely loads of stuff. No point in even going through it all because you get everything. Right, okay, so you get 6 cable ties. Those plastic ones, I don't really like them. Why don't you just add Velcro ones? Actually, you get more than 6 of these crappy ones. Okay, what'd you get? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get 10 of these plastic cable ties. They're not terribly long. I don't want to talk too much about this, but I'd say that it's about it's about 5, maybe 4.5, 5 inches. So depending on the cable routing and how you wrap your cables, that's what it is. So nothing great there, but yeah, you get all the screws in the world. A little speaker thing as well for the motherboard to make the sounds. You get some long screws you get some long screws, and that's going to be for your your water cooling or extra fans if you're going to put that in there. You get the normal old school screws, which I don't really care about anymore, the ones that actually make some sort of things with a plastic, a thread with a plastic, so like you're screwing it onto the back as an exhaust. You also get a tool in there as well, and that tool in there is for the motherboard to take the standoffs off. You get loads, you got a little bloody spanner. You got some springs. This is really weird. What is all this stuff that's in here? You don't normally get this sort of stuff. So look at the size of these chunky monkeys. Oh my days. So you got massive, like, centimetre size hexagon screws. I don't know what these are going to be for. Then you got this hexagon, well, not hexagon, spanner thing. And then you got these springs as well. I don't know. Right, so we'll put this all back in there. We'll find that all out afterwards. But so far, intrigued of all the stuff that you can do with this if you're crazy at water cooling. Even if you just want it as a fan assisted cooling, or if you want one water cooling here, or you don't want one cooling there, or you want one cooling water cooling there, you can do that. But anyway, you've got the brackets here for mechanical hard drive. These are plastic. Decent plastic though, nice and solid. They just slide in and slide out. So that's cool. Now, I don't know many mechanical hard drives that actually get hot, but if it does, it's got like space to breathe out. You can also put a 140mm fan on the top here. If you've got if you've got a fan channel, so you want to basically control your fans, you can put one in the front here. Probably could put a CD drive in there if you really wanted to. So you can probably customize it. It's got the brackets down here as well. These brackets are for your pump as well for water cooling. So it's like a standoff, and the pump stands off the top, giving it a nice little bit of leverage. We'd like to see some foam or some sort of anti-vibration bracket, so it's got rubber on it. But this is pretty solid. So that's a bracket that goes on there for your water cooling, for your big pumps that Thermaltake sell. So that's pretty cool. It's on both sides as well. It's got like a cutout as well, so it looks like you can pass the cables through and underneath and hide it. And it's also got a pass through on both sides, so you can hide other stuff. It looks like you can put an SSD on the side. So let me get an SSD if I can find one. So, will we be able to put an SSD on here? No, it's not even for an SSD, I don't think. No. I thought this was for an SSD, so it's not even for an SSD. But we'll get to that. We'll find out what all this stuff's for. So anyway, on the top for the fan, it's got a DC pump, DC fan connector, I should say, and it's a 140. I'm not too sure if it's RGB. It just looks very black to me. So you can change that up if you want. All your I/O brackets. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So standard 8 on a normal case. So there's the other fan at the back there. So this is another DC connector. And on the top for all your I/O connections, got reset, switch, power switch, hard disk LED, plus and minus of power LED. You've got HD audio on there, very well covered up, dual USB 3s up to 5 gigabits per second. So that's all coming out. It looks like it's a nice decent length. On the front, we've got a reset button. That's well small. So even if you've got little kids or whatever, hopefully they won't see that and notice it. But you can press it, if you press hard enough, you can press it with your finger like that. So reset button, 4 USB 3s, headphone jack, microphone jack, power button, LED indicator, hard disk indicator. Wow, this has got so much stuff, it's ridiculous. So we've got one 140 fan, which is basically going as an exhaust at the top. So it's not taking in clean air. Or is it taking clean air? No, it's actually exhausting air. So they're both in exhaust. So one for the front chamber, one for the back chamber. So your water cooling goes here and everything. Oh my God, and there's where the SSDs, they've really made this look really nice. And I can't seem to get to it because the screwdriver, oh hang on, I'll be able to get to it. Don't you worry. Or maybe I won't. So I need a longer screwdriver, but on both sides, see if this one's a bit weaker to obviously get out. All right, there we go. That screwdriver I've got is a pretty fat screwdriver, so a bit of a mission. Right, so no captive screws here. Where the hell did that drop to? And this is why I like captive screws, because I can find out where everything dropped. But anyway, this just pops up, so slide up, and you can put your SSD in it. So the holes match up nicely, so it goes flush against that, and then you put your 4 screws in there, and then there you have it, you've got your SSDs in there. But it also works without the screws as well, so that's pretty cool. Right, now I've got to find that other screw. There's screws somewhere abouts. You've got the Thermaltake logo on the front here, and it looks like you can do a bit of management underneath. Right, you can put the biggest power supplies ever in the world in the back here. It does have a magnetic filter underneath. So that's underneath for the power supplies, so you can see how long that is. That's how long the power supply you could have in there, which would be roughly, I would say that's nearly 12 inches. Maybe 13 inches, that might be. So stick it back underneath. That's nice and easy. That's easy access for me just to go on. Well, if it ain't flipping easy access, how would I get into it? You're not going to be like maneuvering this very easily. So at the top, I should be able to pop this top as well, because you can go proper crazy on this freaking case. All right, so in the top, I can remove the dual filters at the top. So one, it's a one chamber, one's for another chamber. But it's skimped out with obviously using a magnetic filter, filter. So they've got these sharp ones where you take them out and then you put them into the plastic, which could take me at least a minute to put this in. But once it's in, and then you can just wash it and clean it. But I wish they would have gone with the magnetic solution like they've done all around the case that I've seen so far. That'd be quite cool. This is all plastic as well, so be careful not to break this. This actually weighs about 2 kilos, just this plastic itself. It's got a little bit of flex to it, but not too much. But this will introduce the top of the case. So when you're going to the top of the case now, it's getting lighter now, hopefully. All right, so as we get to the top of the case, you can see that there's 140mm fans in there. You can stick them into RGBs if you want, or you can put 120s on both sides. I can see why they've got a spring there now. Oh, wow. Okay, so these open up the doors here. So if I press that down, I should be able to pop the doors open. But at the moment, I've got it at a high angle. So let me put it back to where it was and see if it works properly. All right, so I should be able to hit that catch. Look at that, just falls out. Now that's really good. So look, how like, Thermaltake, what's going on? So at the top, yeah, the plastic, you put the crappy version of the filters on, but you put, look at the size of this one. Look at the size, whoa, look at the size of that. That looks like I can put in, let's see how many fans I can put in there. Right, we've got a Thermaltake fan here. This one did not come with this case, all right? So 140, this is a 140, isn't it? No, so 120. What's wrong with me? Where's our 140? If I ain't got 140 around me at the moment. So if I had a 140, one, two. So probably I could put 4 in there. So maybe not 5, 60 rad on there. But yes, you can definitely put that on there, no problem. Because on the side is where you will see where you can add the radiators on. This is absolutely insane. And now it's insane that I've got to put this back together because I can't remember how to do it. All right, so this goes in the hinge at the bottom and then it should clip in there, if I can remember rightly. There we go, so that's in there nicely. And then the same for the other side as well, but it's got a shorter bracket. So on this side, on the right hand side of what you're looking at, you can put in a massive bracket. So if I spin this around, this will be a lot more easier for you to see. Woo, it's not too heavy now. So got my little thumb button there, pull this out, releases the filter. And then this is where you got 2 brackets on here as well. So I'm guessing that, well, not guessing, you can actually take the brackets off. So if I take off one bracket real quick, this is where you can put your radiator on, and then once you put your radiator on, then you can just put it back in from outside the case. So they're making your life easier, but they're making it very complicated at the same time with so much choice of where you can put stuff. So this is a truly enthusiast case. It's ridiculously big and big on design. So that's what I can do, take that out, put a radiator in there, no problem whatsoever. If I want to put fans in there, I can put fans in there. It's got slots as well, so rather than anything else, I like this. It gives it a bit more structural strength to it. But I'm going to put this back on there. So it looks like I only got, oh right, I got 2. So one was in the other side there. So they have this one floating. So they do give you 4, but because I've got the drives on the back there, depending if you're going to use mechanical drives, they've detached that and put the mechanical drives and shows you a little insight of how you can add the case, which I think is superb. We do have a warning for CPU cooler height limitations. It says, please ensure your CPU cooler does not exceed 260mm, which is 10.2 inches in height. VGA add-on card length limitations. Please ensure your VGA add-on card does not exceed 400mm, which is 15.7 inches in length. So let's get the specifications out of the way. This case is a Super Tower. The dimensions in height, width and depth is 752 by 423 by 483 in millimeters, which is 29.6 times 16.7 times 19 inch. Cooling system, top exhaust is 140 times 140 times a 25mm turbo fan, running at 1000 rotations per minute, which is at 16 decibels times 2. Drive bays, we do have one which is for a 5.25 inch. Accessible and hidden is 6 times 3.5 inch or 2.5 inch with hard disk cage, and 2 times 2.5 hard disk with tray. Expansion slots, which we've already gone through, it has 8 on there. Motherboard is 6.7 times 6.7. Mini ITX, 9.6 times by 9.6. Micro ATX, 12 times 9.6 ATX and 12 times 13 extended. So fan support, left side is 4 times 120mm, 4 times 140mm. Right side is 4 times 120mm, 4 times 140mm. Tops 2 times 120mm, 2 times 140mm. Rears 2 times 120mm, which is 2 times 140mm, and hard disk cage is 1 times 120mm, 1 times 140mm. Radiator support, left and right side, 1 times 148mm. Radiator support, left and right side is 1 times 148. Radiator support, left, right side, 1 times 480mm, 1 times 560mm. Clearance CPU cooler, height limitations, which is 260mm, VGA length limitations to 400mm, PSU length limitations to 220mm. So as you know, this case is built in France, or was an enthusiastic person in France, and they're the water cooling champions all of a sudden. I thought it was Germany, but yeah, this case was actually designed in France and everything like that, and it would be nice to see something designed in Britain like this. This would be quite cool, but we're still yet to do that yet, so I don't know. But anyway, there's the cut out holes at the bottom which don't cut your fingers, which is awesome because that's where you can pass through cables underneath and stuff like that. There's just so many different ways of doing things. So you can take this off. So if I unplug, if I press that button there, I'll take off the other radiator side and put that down there. Still exactly the same with the magnetic end and everything like that. Easy to clean, so that's pretty cool. On the side here, you've got these little brackets, and I'm guessing, I don't know how this actually works, but, oh, right, is these hot swap? Ah, okay. Hot swappable cages. That's pretty nuts, isn't it, really? So if I turn this around and show you what I'm talking about real quick. Spin, spin, spin. So this is where your radiator will be. If you've got a smaller radiator, probably a 360 or a 280 on the side there. So you'll undo this, take that out, and then you've got your hard disk drives that are hot swappable, so you can take them out. And I'll tell you what, these actually, these are pretty smooth. The quality is just there. It really is right there. I can't even get that one. And I can just slide them all back in, and then you just lock them back in. That is good quality right there. It's well thought out of if you're using mechanical hard drives. But in 2018, I'm only going to use NVMe or M.2 as you know it, or SSDs. Mechanical hard drives, you never know that you could hide them. It's freaking big enough, but imagine having hard drives in there as well as full of water cooling with no wheels. It's absolutely insane. I don't even know, you might even be able to put wheels on it because it's so stupidly heavy. But yes, it's got, most of the top is all pop riveted at the top, but this is where all your exhaust is going to be going. So if I try and lean this case forward, so this is where your graphics card will be, or your any PCI like cards you're going to be using. It'll be exhaust straight from the top, which is decent because the filter is really opened out really nicely. Plus they bundle in two 140mm fans, and it's kind of funny, I just said bundled in. It's like, if you're going to buy a case like this, you're going to need about 200 fans anyway. So just think about it like that. And then on the other side, as I said, you've got the radiator, which is 2 brackets. So they do chuck in actually 4, but they have one release because they've got a mechanical hard drive tray in there. And as I'm saying, at the bottom, you also got these little holes here, like big holes. They're about 3 centimeters in depth, or the hole is about that in circumference. So you've got two big holes there. You've got a nice big pass through here. It's just extraordinary. Then you've got these mechanical hard drives at the front, which well, at the back, so you can get easy access through the back, undo the cables. You've got so much room to work with. It's a flipping dream in here. Right, but yeah, if you're going to have this case, then I wouldn't say anything, none of the wiser, but to water cool this like crazy. So if I spin this around, I wonder what feet it's got underneath. So, okay, they've got rubber sort of foamy pads at the bottom. I'm going to put it down like this so you can have a quick look. But underneath you do have the power supply filter, which is cool. And underneath there you can take these brackets off as well. These are another air filter, so I'll take this one off quickly to show you. But I don't know, it looks like it gives strength to the case as well. Even though it's another filter, it's got a crappy filter in there. But it doesn't matter because they've got 3 crappy bits now, because they've got one on this side, one on the other side, and that other bit that's at the top of the case. I like to see more of this magnetic stuff, but this is pretty solid, but it also looks like it reinforces the actual case as well, which is a freaking good idea because this case is super heavy, 27 kilos and a bit heavy without anything even in it. It's absolutely nuts. So you've got thumb screws, like to see captive thumb screws at the bottom, would have been awesome. They've channeled out the hole, made it a little bit cheaper. So it's got plastic all the way around, and then it's got a foam rubber bit at the bottom, which is fair dues. trying to make it lighter, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, this case is extraordinary big. As you can see, it's pretty big, and I haven't got the top on yet. Plus the glass you got to go on there as well. Anyway, you've got a nice Thermaltake logo there. That'd be good if they make another version of this, if people were still interested in super towers, let alone full towers and normal sized towers, but everyone's going on a micro ITX, micro ATX theme at the moment. But this is a showpiece case, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, what more can I say about it? Would I buy this case? If I'm building another house, I'll just move into this thing because it's got enough room for everyone to come into this house. And then it's got loads of RGB, so it'd be like a nightclub or a bar or something. Anyway, it is pretty sturdy. They could have taken the pop rivets away because it looks like this whole case could have been literally taken to pieces. Even this has got screws you can take out as well, but it's got pop rivets on the side. So if I had like screws on it, the whole thing could have came apart. Then literally you could took it apart and sprayed it all up and stuff. But yeah, it is pretty cool. And at the bottom it's got a thumb screw where you can put the tray out, which you can have your fan controller at the bottom, which I said before. But yes, this is absolutely crazy. So now to put this all back together again. So I was just checking on the side there just to make sure that I was right. And it's saying that you can put a 560 rad on left or right hand side. But it says one time, so I'm not sure if you can have both on both sides, but it would make sense as it's got both the brackets are both same sides. So if you got rid of the mechanical hard drives, you could, I'm sure you can have 560 and 560 on here, if you want to be that crazy. But me, I'll probably be more crazy at 480. You've got 480, 420, 280 and 140, or 120, 240, 360, 480. So yeah, that's just, it's freaking insane. Obviously you can put your pumps here, you can go real big on the pumps, it's just gonna look really, really nice. But anyway, that is my review and my full in-depth review of the Thermaltake 900 Super Tower case that can fit any motherboard that you choose. And if you do choose to put in 5 motherboards in here, it will work. Anyway, yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video to anyone that wants to be an enthusiast or go mad or got money to burn on this case. Link in the description down below if you want to go and purchase this. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And I'm sweating my butt off.